Hello and welcome to the Hairdresser Strong Show. I'm your host, Robert Hughes, and this is my guest, Herson the Barber. Herson the Barber is from Heritage Barbering Company from Kensington, Maryland, and he's back with us. We're going to talk a little bit about his salon. Last time, we talked about how he got started in the career and the creation of the DC Barber Expo, which is one of the largest barber expos in the nation. Herson, would you give us a quick little intro for those viewers who didn't hear the first episode?
Yeah, definitely. What's up, guys? It's Herson the Barber, Herson Bautista as my government. Owner and operator of the Heritage Barber Co. In Kensington, Maryland. Also creator and founder of the DC Barber Expo.
For those viewers who didn't watch our last conversation, you were talking about how you kind of just fell into the career with finding some barbering shears with your dad in high school, and then you worked in three years in one barbershop, 5 years in another one, and then you finally opened your salon. But while you were at the last barbershop, you started the DC Barber Expo. And something that you talked about was the importance of the different guest speakers, talking about the professional side of things, the business side of things, as well as having artists there that are showing off their skills, etc. For someone that runs something like that, I'm assuming in your shop that that's kind of permeating into that shop. Would you tell us a little bit about like how you bring what type of stuff you do in the expo into your shop?
In the shop, I'm the owner, so I'm responsible for careers, right? With the expo, it's technically the same thing, but more of an abundance of people. So I have to kind of generally cater to everyone. But it's similar topics. We're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about planning, down from all that down to cleaning your chair at the end of the day. There's a certain structure that I keep here that I want to keep here because at the end of the day, this community serves that community, and it's all one community, right? And it sets standards. Especially, tying it to the community. It's like saying, hey, we're from DC, we're from Maryland, we're from Virginia. We do things at a standard and we're gonna keep it growing up.
Nice. What about on the technical side? What do y'all do as far as advancing yourselves in the shop during the year when you're not at the expo?
So, that's a good question because recently, we haven't really been gathering anywhere in the nation for any type of event because of COVID. But what I've done the last couple of months since we've been back open is I work close with a lot of sponsors for the expo, different educators, different companies that provide certain services like sending educators out to shops or to events, to teach a certain technique or whatever the case may be. So I'm able to contact them and say sign an educator to come down for a weekend and to kind of teach my guys.
Nice.
Or hold a class at the shop, very intimate, very private, 20-25 people, and just kind of get hands-on with stuff. So
nice.
Recently we've been doing that with Wall, Hanzo. Those are clipper companies. Hanzo, I don't know if you heard of it. It's a ski company, one of the biggest ones in the nation. So they're always providing, Babyliss as well. They're always providing educators and support for us, local guys. So we're doing a lot of that lately.
Awesome. Cool. And speaking about your salon, why don't you tell us a little bit about the vibes, the culture, your brand, anything that comes to mind when I say stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. The shop, it's definitely a landmark. The 2 years that we've been there, the vibes are very energetic. That's the word I'm gonna use. I'm gonna say energetic, because there's all types of energy that just come in there, from the clients to the barbers, even to me, to the owner. It's just we all have a certain vibe that we have to upkeep. From the kids come in there, they know they're getting a lollipop. Gordo the barber, he has a bag, a Costco bag in his drawer, and he's right next to the door. So when they're headed out, they're like, "Yeah, my lollipop." So they come in here, they come to the shop with like this smile, and they leave the shop with a smile because they know, hey, the guys are so cool. They give us lollipops, stuff like that. And the guys at the shop, man, I'm talking about it's joke time 24/7, bro.
Oh, nice.
24/7. So you come in there, you're hearing somebody getting fried. So someone is getting cooked when you're in the shop. And it's funny. It's funny because the customers will come back a month or 2 weeks later, and they'll bring it up, and we'll be like, "Oh, we forgot about that. That's so funny." Like the guys will remember the clients will remember the jokes weeks and weeks on, and
That's awesome.
it's good vibes, man. It's good vibes.
That's cool. How many chairs do you have?
Right now we're at 9. We're at
Okay.
9 chairs, including myself. So we're at 9 chairs now.
Nice. Cool. And are your chairs all full?
All about one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, technically, well, I am. I just hired the last guy. He's not
Okay.
starting for about another month, but we're full. We're full.
Yeah. Okay. What type of what do you look for when you're considering somebody in the event that you have an open chair?
Definitely. So it's crazy because my turnover within these 2 years, I think I've hired just 2 extra people.
Okay.
Like outside of that, everybody else has been good, and good employees. Everybody else has been there, has good structure, good work ethic, and stuff like that. But in terms of hiring, I keep it pretty simple. You gotta want it. You know, I've been in the industry long enough where I can tell if someone is serious about the craft or someone is just interested in the craft. You know, um, it's usually when you spark, you have all the energy, you're all motivated, you're good to go. You're like, hey, I want to work, or hey, it'll be great to learn. 2 months down the road, that spark isn't there anymore, stuff like that, right? So longevity, um, and consistency is the key for me to be like, hey, they didn't even consider hiring you.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're coming to work for my brand. You're coming to build with me, And if I have to babysit this, nobody wants to babysit somebody on the work site.
Right. Totally.
So you got to have that drive already with you. That's something I can't teach.
Yeah.
I can't teach you to want it. I can't teach you to be motivated. I can't teach you to get up every day and be happy about what you do. You have to have that already instilled in you.
Right.
So that's my only requirement.
Okay.
Work
And
ethic.
do they have to have a license for you to hire them, or do you do an apprenticeship, or?
So I'm a master barber. So I do have one apprentice under me right now, but everybody else is licensed. Most of them I've gone through school. I got one guy finishing up school. So most of the guys are licensed except for one. But he's doing an apprenticeship, so technically his apprentice license.
And then for the apprenticeship, what does that entail at a barbershop?
It's a certain amount of hours. Obviously, I have a curriculum for him. So
Yeah.
I told him it's better for you to go to school, do it the soft way. Because I'm pretty harsh, bro. Like I'm cutthroat. I'm like, you got to do this, you got to study this, read this, do that. So it's double the hours too. It's 2,250 hours versus
Oh, wow.
1,200 at a school.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's more intense. But it does go by faster. You spend more time at the shop versus
Right.
a school, so it does go by faster. But in terms of hiring them, it's just I could teach skill. I could teach you how to cut. It's a skill that anybody can develop. But that drive and all that comes with it, like you gotta have that, bro.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Awesome. So could you, if you could go back and do anything differently, is there anything that you think you would do anything differently, knowing what you know now?
In regards to the shop,
In regards to anything that has to do with the shop or your career or anything you had to do relative to the industry?
let me see. If I had to go back with the information that I know now, um, definitely what I would do is I work hard now, right? My days are from 12 to 14 hours. I would work harder. I would work harder, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. The discipline is there, the work ethic is there, but for me, I'm not satisfied with the work that I'm putting out. As much as I do, as much as I do, I'm just not. I feel like I don't reach that level. I keep going. Like I keep going. Like, what's the next goal? What's next? What can we accomplish now? Like, what's for tomorrow? What's for next week? So for me, the one thing, knowing the information I know now and the work ethic I got now, if I were to go back in time, it would be use this and push harder, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. So I'm not going to translate it into your advice for like a young stylist or like someone who's looking to make a change or a move or something. What if you had one piece of advice, or more than one, what would it be for anybody that is trying to like make a change or get started or something like that in the career?
Definitely. Two pieces of advice. And one time back to what I just said about the work ethic and working hard. Definitely work your ass off. Like people kind of underestimate the barbering and the salon world. Like they think, oh, you stand all day, you're inside all day, you just cut hair. Like it really takes a toll on your body. So it's really intense when, especially if you do it for so long. So definitely work hard. Definitely work hard. And if you think you're working hard, work harder than that. All right, that's the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice is you're never done. You're never done learning. This industry has evolved so much just within the last decade that those people that thought they knew everything, now they don't know anything.
Totally.
Totally different. And we spoke about this a little earlier, is that it's just the new people coming in, they coming into a whole different world, you know? And the people that have been in the industry are trying to adapt to that new world. So
Right.
it's basically, you got to keep your mind open and never confirm, never never think you reached that peak.
Gotcha.
You
Yeah.
know, never think you learned everything, because there's always something else to learn.
I like that.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Let me throw another one in there.
Okay.
Throw another one in there. Even the up and coming barbers and stylists, it's always good to pay it forward. It's always
Okay.
good to pay it forward. You know, I learned along the way a lot from different barbers in different shops coming up. You know, I adapted my own style by picking in little bits and pieces of everybody else's style around me. Right. So as an up and coming barber or stylist, you have to develop your own style, but use that same knowledge that you learn to give back to those coming up behind you. You know,
That's
it's always good to pay it forward to the next generation.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that.
definitely, definitely.
That's super good. All right. I'm gonna wrap this one up with a laugh. What is I ask everybody what at the end of at least one of the episodes of times we talk, what is your most embarrassing moment behind the chair or with a client or as it pertains to your career?
Oh man, there's a few here. Oh man, all right. I'm gonna tell you one. I got and this was a long time ago. I was still cutting my house. All right, this was way before that. But my customer won't live it down. I've been cutting his hair for like 10 years and he just won't live it down.
Okay.
And it was a pretty basic haircut. We were so into our conversation, and I was just working as we were talking, and he noticed a little hair sticking up in the front, right? And he was like, "Hey, can you get that one hair?" While we're conversating, I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So I grabbed the machine and I'm like, "Yeah, this and that," and I go, "I forgot to put the guard." I forgot to put the guard. I took off all his hair from right here.
Oh my gosh.
He had to go down to zero. Like there was no fixing that. There was no fixing. I had to just buzz him. I had to buzz him. And as this probably, like I said, like 10 years ago, and he still won't let me live it down. He's gonna see this interview. He's gonna be like, "Motherfucker, I told you." Wow.
That's a good one. I like that. That's funny. Awesome.
And
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation and share your experience with us.
thank you for having me. Definitely, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look forward to having you on the show again.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do.
All right. See ya.